We're set.
After the national anthem, we go to fireworks.
Yes, you can go ahead and put it on the top.
Oh, we
Good morning, graduates, honored guests, trustees, faculty, staff, and especially the family and friends of the graduates of the Southwestern class of 2021. I'm Charles Fairchild. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees. It is my distinct honor to welcome you to the iconic Rose Bowl Stadium for Southwestern's momentous 106th annual commencement ceremony. Hey, we made it, right? Here's to us. To begin the ceremony, it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Joy Lakin of Southwestern's evening program, class of 2021, who will sing the national anthem. Joy was chosen for this role after a competitive audition process. Congratulations to everybody who engaged in that. Will the graduates, audience, and those on stage please stand for the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Ms. Lakin. That was beautiful. Was that your Rose Bowl debut? Awesome. Today we celebrate the accomplishments of Southwestern's 106th graduating class, the class of 2021. Under the guidance of our dedicated faculty, you all reached this milestone through your hard work and perseverance. This past year, you have stayed the course and adjusted to so many challenges, all while maintaining focus in your legal studies. We extend our heartiest congratulations to each of you as that part of your legal career ends and the next chapter begins. We have no doubt you are well equipped with the necessary tools to go out into this world, the legal world, and the rest of the world, and make a huge impact. Concluding your studies in the midst of a pandemic has only added to your toolbox and further strengthened your resolve to succeed. You are now part of Southwestern's esteemed legacy. Congratulations, no pressure, but make us look good. Be sure to stay connected. Let us know of your successes and accomplishments. I suspect they will be many. Now it is my pleasure to present our Dean and President, Susan Westerberg Prager.
Thank you, Charles and Vivian. It's such an amazing feeling to stand here with all of us together after nearly 14 months apart. I want to begin by thanking the Rose Bowl staff and management for enabling us to do this. It wasn't easy for them. They have an event this afternoon, and we're concerned that we might not be able to keep to our timetable. We're so grateful to them for doing this, for their professionalism and their help today. Even more, though, I want to thank all the staff of Southwestern who made this possible, and particularly Associate Dean Marcy Canal and Katrina Garcia for their exceptional dedication. Think of it, our graduation usually involves many months of preparation. And it's usually held in an indoor venue that Marcy and Katrina know like the back of their hand. The planning they were doing together with a group of students was predicated on the idea that we wouldn't be able to do this, wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today. They were looking for venues where they might be able to do a partial virtual, partial in cars, whatever. But ultimately, they realized, thanks to the persistence of the students in this advisory group, they realized that given the fact that California was improving and vaccinations had been administered to so many, that this day could mean so much more to our graduates and their families if we could be together. Thanks to them and the many other Southwestern staff who have worked on this project, here we are. Marcy and Katrina, working with the Rose Bowl staff and policies, you have artfully balanced our needs for safety and our emotional need for celebration. I know you've shared the excitement of so many of us that we are here in this stadium. The very words Rose Bowl evoke the feelings of beauty and vibrance that has drawn people to Southern California ever since the Santa Fe Railroad connected the Los Angeles region to the Midwest and the East. Marcy and Katrina, here we are in a facility built in 1921 on the verge of a decade-long boom that produced, among other things, Bullock's Wilshire. And we are celebrating a school that was created before this facility was built by a man whom you all know wanted to have a place where anyone who had the intellectual capacity and the drive to become a lawyer should be able to do that. His ideas were radical for the time. The school was predicated on the idea that working people would come to the school. And there was, as he put it, a night program for the people who work during the day and a day program for those who work at night. Marcy and Katrina, on behalf of all of us here, but especially the graduates and their families, you are two remarkable young women. Your commitment and professionalism, not to mention your grace under extreme and continuing pressure, which escalated this morning with precipitation. You're awesome. Personally, I've come to think of you as role models for the rest of us. But most of all, I want to thank our graduates for the difference you and other Southwestern students have made during this COVID crisis. Warm congratulations, Southwestern's class of 2021. I'm so excited that I'm told that 205 of you are here today. I think that's about 80% of the class. Well, graduates, normally we start by doing something very, very important. This is a day when those closest to you can and should take enormous pride in your accomplishments. And at the same time, for so many of you, the support and encouragement of family and friends has been a critical element in your success. And so, as we begin this celebration, would each of you turn, face your family and friends, and ask the family and friends of the graduates to stand and be thanked by us all. For 14 of Southwestern's graduates, Southwestern is not only a part of their personal history, it's also a part of their ongoing family history. These 14 graduates have one or more family members who have a unique appreciation for what you all have just gone through. We term them torchbearer graduates. These are students whose immediate family members are Southwestern alums, faculty, or staff. Would the torchbearer graduates and their Southwestern affiliated family members stand now to be recognized? Thank you. Today, 226 students will graduate from Southwestern, so actually your attendance is even more than that 80% estimate. 220 of you have earned the JD, and 4 have earned the Master of Laws. I'd now like to recognize our graduates and the programs they represent. Would our 141 full-time day program JD graduates stand now? Thank you. Would the 14 JD candidates from our 2 part-time day programs, including our Path-Breaking Please program designed for students with childcare or elder care responsibilities, would you all please stand now? Southwestern is proud to have the longest-running specially designed compressed program of legal education in the nation. Students in the SCALE program complete all of law school in slightly less than 2 years. Would the 38 scale JD candidates stand now? And now, the LLM candidates in Entertainment and Media Law and the LLM General Studies Program candidates. This year, these students come from Argentina, China, and the United States. 3 are in the General LLM program and 1 in the Entertainment LLM. Would you please stand now? Thank you all. No law school could be what it is without a dedicated, concerned, and effective faculty. And Southwestern's faculty is exceptional in the strength of its commitment to teaching in and out of the classroom, as well as in its capacity and commitment to helping students enter the profession. That commitment was tested in a previously unthinkable way when, in the middle of spring break last year, the faculty were advised that they had 5 days to shift to remote teaching. Remember, a large majority of us on the faculty had never even heard of Zoom. And together, you, our students, and the faculty did your best. You were generous in helping the faculty and supporting them. It was even before faculty had finished grading last spring that Vice Dean Waisman was asking all faculty to dedicate their summer to rethinking and redesigning their courses to make them as effective as possible in light of our new required virtual world. And that is what the Southwestern faculty did. They set aside the other plans that they had. And that happened because this faculty is committed to your development and your success. So I'd like to ask the faculty members here to rise so that they can be recognized for their vision, their expertise, their dedication to teaching and your learning. Faculty, Southwestern also has an exceptional board of trustees. Most of them are Southwestern alums, and part of their role in guiding this very special law school is ensuring that a person like me, coming from the outside, understands what a treasure this law school truly is. A few members of the board were able to rearrange their schedules to be with us this morning, including one of our newest trustees. The trustees, would the trustees stand? Charles, of course, is on the stage, and the others are in this area. They include Pete DeShano, Wally Yoka, Betty Kalfas, and Mee Simpkin. Thank you for being here. But it's our students who've made the bigger difference in furthering and sustaining our sense of community, even though we've prevented you from being together. And so many members of this class have committed yourselves to this community. From high visibility efforts, such as virtual programs like the Innovative Safe Space series initiated with an idea from Apalsa, and BALSA's truly exceptional community forum, which called us to task, but in the most professional, direct, and helpful way. Those events mattered greatly, and they were replicated in so many ways through the course of this year because we had such great student leadership and creativity amongst all of you. But we also had you, so many of you as individuals, again and again, exhibiting a spirit of generosity to others. The actions and the attitude of Southwestern students were a huge factor in what we collectively feel about this year. So despite this weird and often frustrating circumstance and constraints, and despite the devastating events in our nation and the world, perhaps because at last we've been able to come together here in this historic space, I think we can now see and celebrate that this has been a remarkable and productive year. And that's a tribute to all of you. You didn't just sustain our culture of community and caring, you furthered our sense that words and actions, large and small, can make a difference, and that even we at Southwestern, one of our nation's most racially diverse law schools, had work to do in our own community. When I appointed the task force in the wake of George Floyd's murder, I appointed more students than any other group. I did that because I had a high degree of confidence that our students would exhibit a very high level of professionalism, but also be direct that there were areas where we needed to address our shortcomings and become better and stronger. And I've not been disappointed. Throughout the academic year, you sustained and actually strengthened our sense of community and purpose, even as the rule of law in our nation deteriorated. So it is with a heightened sense of pride in our Southwestern community, and particularly in you, this graduating class, that I introduce the 2021 graduating student speaker, Andy Hyman. Andy was selected by a panel of faculty and staff based on academic achievement, law school and community involvement, and the actual content of his graduation remarks. He earned his undergraduate degree in English from Kenyon College in Ohio, and then traveled to London and the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, where he earned a master's in playwriting and worked as a playwright and took a number of his projects to the stage. But like so many of you in this class, Andy faced some serious adversity in his pre-Southwestern years. But the health challenges he faced prompted him to reevaluate his life and find a way to help the world around him. Fortunately for us, it was clear to Andy early on that Southwestern was a school guided by people who cared, and we were a mutual perfect fit. Andy attended the traditional day program and is a future criminal appellate lawyer and post-conviction litigator. His endless law school accomplishments include serving as a certified law clerk in our youth offender parole clinic, and a summer as one of the first Judge Harry Pragerson Public Service Fellows, working at the California Appellate Project, Los Angeles. He also externed at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit, served as a research assistant to one of Southwestern's most effective scholars, and assisted fellow students in multiple ways, as a Dean's Fellow, advising, as a much appreciated teaching assistant in a large core course, and in the role he just completed as Southwestern Law Review's Notes and Comments editor, where he helps students improve their contributions, enhancing their opportunities for publication. Most recently, Andy distinguished our law school by receiving the grand prize from the Beverly Hills Bar Association's 2021 Rule of Law Writing Competition for the article he wrote for the Southwestern Law Review. Professor Mark Hammack recently explained to me about the importance of the work, which deals with the issue of whether a prosecutor violates due process if they do not disclose to the defense that their expert is testifying differently than they did in a arguably similar situated case. Remarkably, this subject on which the U.S. Supreme Court is in conflict is one that no one has written about. Think about what it took to identify this problem and pursue it. Of Andy's work in a particular case in the Youth Offender Parole Clinic, Professor Beth Caldwell says, Andy approached his work with both academic rigor and emotional intelligence. And I believe this combination was what made him such an exceptional advocate for our client, a client who had been sentenced as a young person, but who made a complete transformation over 3 decades. 3 decades that he had spent in prison. It was Andy who made the closing argument, outlining the many facts demonstrating our client's rehabilitation. After 20 minutes outside the hearing room, he and his client returned. Think of the experience of sitting next to your client when he was granted parole after 25 years in prison. Members of the graduating class, I think your families have a glimpse into the tremendous contributions of your class speaker, Andy Hyman. Andy, please come to the podium now.
Thank you, Dean Prager, Board Chair Fairchild, Judge Barat, professors, and the class of 2021. You know, in the middle of my second year, when I was a law review staffer, I had a decision to make, whether I should apply to be on the executive board. I went back and forth about it for weeks, but eventually I decided to do it because I wanted to make sure that this year I'd get to keep sitting on the couches in the law review office. And look how that turned out. You know, in a year full of loss and unrealized expectations for this community and the world around us, that one's probably the dumbest. But there is a less dumb version of that story. One in which we all showed up to law school 2, 3, 4 years ago with real hopes and genuine vision about how this would all play out. What we could accomplish and what the world would look like today, the day we took our first step out into it as law school graduates. And it wasn't this for any of us. You know, with all we've experienced this past year, a pandemic, a war, a racial and social justice cataclysm, shifting winds that have affected the security of so many of us and our families, I know a lot of us have felt that gap between what we dreamed of and what we're facing stings. And that's okay to feel that sting. While it was stinging, though, something really simple happened. People just kept showing up anyway. You know, one morning the professors showed up, sitting there, staring at us on the computer screen. And the students were sitting there, staring right back. The school showed up, found ways to support the students who needed support. No one got to plan how they'd show up, but everyone showed up nonetheless. Student organizations showed up. Honors programs showed up. The public service program and clinics kept showing up. Dean's fellows and peer mentors showed up. TAs showed up. And most of all, you know, people showed up on their own without any organization behind them. Showed up to say, I'm going to be here so you know another human being is available when you need one. I watch the people sitting here show up for each other every day on a Zoom screen. Saw fear and exasperation and laughter shared in little boxes. Got to know people I had seen in passing every day and shared long silent rides with on the Westmoreland elevator that stopped for no reason on every floor except the one we needed, but never spoke a word to till now. I didn't get the law review couches. I got the law review people. People who came together like everyone here did in a million different permutations to foster the ideas and the relationships that matter to us. People who fought to pass along this incredible experience to the next group of students, even better than we got it, even when it felt like we weren't getting it at all. That's what this year was all about, because an institution isn't just the couches or the buildings or anything else, though all that stuff's great. It's the people. And the people here did what they do at a great institution when things get tough. They meet each other with love and understanding. They step forward in whatever imperfect human way they can, and frightened or not themselves, they show you support and give you the gift of supporting them back. That is the amazing gift we got this year. That's the legacy of Southwestern 2021. The love that we learn to show someone else when life throws them a curveball that breaks their heart a little bit. And we're going to need that gift. We're going to need it for the client who's trying to make some headway with their landlord or their employer or their business, but can't stop spinning their wheels no matter how hard they try. For the parent going through a custody battle. For the trauma survivor who's in danger of getting traumatized all over again. And for the prison inmate who's changed his life but can't seem to get the parole board to acknowledge that. For the person who trusted the partner that ended up betraying them, and the kid who has to face her own parents in a dependency proceeding, and the meritorious asylum applicant who got turned down anyway. The ability to show them the compassion they deserve and stand with them however we can is the tool we get to carry out into the world and wield with intention and purpose in a way we might not have otherwise, because we were part of this class at this time at Southwestern Law School. Yeah, and because of that, there's nowhere I'd rather be than right here, right now, with all of you. These administrators, these professors, this staff, and us, this class, we made Southwestern a remarkable place from the couches in our very own homes. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, thank you, Andy. I'm told that I managed to miss asking the evening program students to stand. I think that was because you were cheering loudly right before that. But let me go back and do that because our evening program is so important. Please.
We always get forgotten. We always forgotten.
You can stand. Well, we are truly honored to have as our principal speaker the Honorable Andre Barat Jr., Judge of the United States District Court for the Central District of California. Judge Barat, we are incredibly grateful to you for being here this morning. I'm sure it felt like you were getting up in the middle of the night, and despite the fact that we reached you only 3 weeks ago, I do want to assure you and all of you that Judge Barat is the only person we invited to speak to this class, and he was magnificent in responding quickly and saying yes, making time that I'm sure he does not have. And I can't think of a person more deserving of Southwestern's honorary degree, given the deep interest that this man has taken in mentoring Southwestern students, the quality and the experience you provide, Judge Barat, to our externs, and the continued interest you show in the students and lawyers you have taken an interest in, including a number of members of our Trial Advocacy Honors Program. You are off the charts in this regard. In 2010, President Obama appointed Andre Barat Jr., United States Attorney for the Central District of California. U.S. Attorney Barat was responsible for what I believe was then and is now the largest U.S. Attorney's office in the country. And during his time as U.S. Attorney, the then Attorney General of the United States often called upon him for other important leadership and problem-solving roles on committees and working groups. In the spring of 2014, President Obama nominated Andre Barat Jr. to the Federal District Court. Here is a breathtaking fact. Judge Barat's appointment to the federal bench was confirmed unanimously by the United States Senate only 3 months after his nomination. Judge Barat has been known to take on tough roles. For example, prior to serving as U.S. Attorney, he became Inspector General of the Los Angeles Police Department, where he interacted closely with the Police Commission. As head of the Office of Inspector General, he was responsible for conducting and overseeing LAPD internal investigations and audits to ensure compliance with both LAPD policies and mandates imposed by a federal consent decree. Judge Barat first joined the Office of the Inspector General in 2001 as an Assistant Inspector General. Only 2 years later, he was appointed to the top role in the office and played it for 7 years. Judge Barat has really made a difference in the professional development of Southwestern law students. His mentees include my first student speaker at Southwestern. That was 2014, and the speaker was Jemai Graham, who encountered Judge Barat in his first year honors competition, where I believe you were judging the finals. Jemai has been mentored by this man ever since. Jemai is one of our new trustees and hoped to share the platform with you today. He even wanted to introduce you. Marina Sampson, your first Southwestern extern, and who is here somewhere in the stands, was instrumental in enabling us to connect with the judge on such short notice. She has repeatedly told me over the years what a difference you've made in her life and how you helped her in important ways in her first 2 jobs after law school. What impresses me is that it's so clear from what these people tell me is that you are making sure that every young lawyer, every student you're interacting with is learning from the experience. And you've played such important roles for them in connection with their careers. Now, before I turn the podium over to Judge Barat, I want to make another point about his career. I'm going to do that by encouraging you sometime in the next month or 2 or 3 to look carefully at what our program says about his background and what he did in those years immediately following law school. Unless you do that, you won't be able to see that he has faced in his career exactly what you're facing now. Starting a career and then purposefully adding to your experience to help you move in the direction you want to pursue, whatever that may be. If you think of him as U.S. attorney or as a federal judge, you may not realize how much you have to learn from his example because you will think that you can't possibly be like him. Instead, look at those first 4 jobs. Go back to those early years. Think of him as the young Pepperdine graduate who started off in the public defender's office. And I'm sure that wasn't an easy job to get. He did exactly what we at Southwestern want each one of you to do. Think about what you want to do and begin to build your experience. Please join me now in welcoming the Honorable Andre J. Barat, Jr.
Well, thank you, Dean Prager, greatly for that very kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I thought this was a graduation. Let's try that again. Good morning, everyone. All right. Dean Prager, Chairman Bob Fairchild, the Board of Trustees, and all the faculty and administration here, I want to express my sincere thanks for this invitation to be able to spend some time with you this morning as you all celebrate this wonderful occasion. And I want to thank each and every one of you, all the students here this morning who have graduated. Take a moment. I know it's raining, but I just want you to take a moment and take this in. Look around you. Look at all of the family members that are here for you. This class of 2021, day students, evening students, part-time students, scale students. Now, you all are crazy, but that's another side. That's another side. The LLM students, you did this, and you did this in the midst of a pandemic. I think that, in and of itself, deserves a round of applause. So I really am honored to be able to join you here this morning. And it's not early at all. I've got 3 young kids, so this is practically dinner in my household. So. And as I stand here today, I can't help but think about my graduation back in 1991, 30 years ago, when I graduated from Pepperdine Law School. And I remember that day quite vividly. It was a mixture, if you will, of both excitement on the one hand of getting a degree, but some apprehension about not necessarily knowing what laid ahead for me. And maybe some of you feel that way today. I know the legal world that you're about to enter is challenging. There's no denying that. But I felt the same way when I graduated from Pepperdine. I took the bar exam not knowing what would it lead to, and I certainly never dreamed that I would become a United States District Judge. But I did know 3 things for sure. I was proud to have my law degree. I wanted to pass the bar exam, and I wanted to make the most of my career. And so with this time this morning, I wanted to just offer, if I could, some free legal advice, hopefully worth more than the price that you paid for it, some for the short term and then some for the long term. Now, the shorter term advice applies to what comes right after the graduation. And for many of you, that next stop is going to be the dreaded bar exam, okay? Now, make no mistake about it, it will be and can feel like a very grueling process. It may remind you of your first year law school all over again. But as you all know, this is your ticket to practice law. So the next few months need to be taken seriously. In my view, I think you need to be singularly focused on that objective, trying to study and pass the bar exam. And so to do that, I would suggest that you all create what I describe a filter in your mind. And I'm not talking about a Zoom filter. I'm talking about a filter in your brain. And that filter asks the following question: will this be on the bar exam? So, in the next few months, during your studies, if you get into a disagreement or distraction with a loved one, a family member, a friend, you need to look at them and yourself and ask, is this going to be on the bar exam? Because if the answer is no, and I submit in most instances the answer will be no, then you need to keep moving on and get back to the lecture at hand and get ready for the bar exam. So, for those of you students that desire to see if the Lakers are going to get a back-to-back championship, or if you want to watch Bridgerton or binge watch on Queen's Gambit, ask yourself, is this going to be on the bar exam? And to the parents, the loved ones, the family members and friends that are out here this morning, if these graduates in the next several weeks and months seem aloof, distracted, or outright rude, just blame me, okay? Now, after the bar exam, if they continue to do that, that's on them. I got nothing to do with it, okay? You can tell them snap out of it and get back to regular life. Now, the longer term advice that I want to try to share with you is something that Dean Prager talked about, and it's something that's important to me and I think has helped guide me throughout my career. Once you've taken and passed that bar exam, you'll now begin that real voyage, if you will, into the world of law. And it will feel intimidating. But remember, Southwestern has provided you with the foundation to work hard, to be engaged, and to not be complacent. But the advice that I offer to each and every one of you is this: I want you all to cultivate mentors in your own respective lives. And I use that term, cultivate, very purposefully. It's not a matter of simply falling into a situation where you happen to meet someone who takes mentoring seriously. It's a function of your own individual effort. It's about being someone's go-to girl or guy in whatever workspace you're involved in. It's about making a real contribution to a team's success. And so as you embark on this journey as young lawyers, no matter what task you're assigned, big or small, I want you to try to be a star in that role. So, whether it's document review, working out a technical issue on e-discovery, babysitting a witness, doing research assignment to find that one case that partner swears is out there that you know is not, being the designated note taker in a deposition, or just making sure that the partner that you're working with doesn't have the dreaded cat filter on their Zoom call. Do all of those tasks with excellence. Now I know, and I've been there, some of these assignments are not glamorous. They're tedious. They'll make you want to pull your hair out. But when you do them well, when you do them with excellence, when you're a star in that role, you're going to be a valuable member to that team. You're going to know the facts. You're going to know the issues as well as the person that you're working for. And when you're a star in that role, they will rely on you for those things. The legal world in many ways is about relationships. So when you make yourself invaluable through your efforts, through your excellence, your diligence, that mentor, that supervisor, that person you're working with, they will think about you as someone that's a valuable member of their team and will make moves with you in mind. Now, again, mentors are not just there simply because you're out to help them so much. It's more because of what you will learn from them. The valuable lessons that you learn from them each and every day about how they got to where they got. And learn from them as they tell you the mistakes that they made in their careers to help you avoid those same things. And those mentors will also serve as references for you and be the supporters, the wind beneath your wings as you embark in your career. Cultivating mentors, like I said, was I can't say it enough, was so instrumental in how I got to the position that I am now. Whether it was my first-year law professor at Pepperdine, who I literally camped outside his office every day because I had an interest in criminal law. I am still friends with him to this day, 30 years later. Whether it's the supervisors and the judges that I worked with and appeared in front of, who I learned so much from. Those people served as references. Those people saw something that I didn't see in myself and encouraged me to apply to be U.S. Attorney and then apply to be District Court Judge. They saw something that, quite frankly, I was scared of. And they pushed me. They elevated me to have the courage to apply. And for them, I'm eternally grateful. And I would submit to you all that finding mentors is not that difficult to do. You can do them through alumni organizations, bar organizations. These organizations can be vital links to you between yourself and others in the fields that you want to practice in and individuals that you want to learn from. And all it takes is what you have today, your degree from Southwestern Law School. Like I said, this school has given you a wonderful foundation for success. So please keep that in mind as you embark on this new journey. Don't forget your law school. It's the professors, it's the staff that helped you to get to this point. Those are the relationships and friendships that you will need as you move forward in this new career. Like I said, it was beyond my wildest dreams to be a district court judge. But it was those mentors that pushed, encouraged me. They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And so I encourage you all as you move forward to cultivate those mentors starting right now. And this legal world that we are about to embark on, you heard from Andy Hyman, there's just so many opportunities out there for you. This world needs good people like you with your skill set to help navigate through this ever-changing world. The opportunities are there. You just have to go out and reach for them. Now, if I could conclude with just one quote from former First Lady Michelle Obama. When she said this, and I heard it, it really resonated with me, and it's something that I try to think about quite often, and she said it so eloquently. She said, "In my own life, in my own small way, I've tried to give back to this country that has given me so much." She goes on to say, "Because I believe that each of us, no matter what our age or background or walk in life, each of us has something to contribute to the life of this nation." To the class of 2021, each and every one of you, no matter what your background, no matter what your walk in life, each and every one of you have something great to contribute to the life of this nation. So do not miss this opportunity. Take advantage of what you've received and the skills that you've learned here at Southwestern to help transform this legal community that we are all so proud and privileged to be a part of. It is your time to shine, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to all the great things that you will accomplish in your careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Barat, for your dedication and service. Have guided you through a most distinguished career. And his advice to all of you will help you with your careers. I'll also submit that in addition to finding good mentors, guess who else is a mentor already? All of you. You've got something to offer the people who come after you, especially the Southwestern students after you. So stay connected, like Judge Barat said. Show up at the networking events and, tell the next person how you passed the bar on the first time. Tell all of us that. Each year at this time, Southwestern recognizes individuals who, as respected leaders in their field, have brought distinction and honor to our profession and the greater community through their accomplishments and contributions. We are particularly proud to honor one exceptionally accomplished individual this year with the honorary degree of laws from Southwestern Law School, Judge Andre Barat, Jr. Judge Barat provides an outstanding model of leadership and integrity, and he has earned the highest respect and gratitude of his colleagues in the legal profession and the greater community.
If all I had to do is give a speech 30 years ago to get a degree, I would have done that. No. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
So I'd like to share with the students that the hood that the judge wore in today and that is now beneath the Southwestern one is, of course, a Pepperdine one, and we didn't have one. But it turns out that Professor Bob Popovich does have one, and I think it's an important symbol that this distinguished man is wearing Bob Popovich's Pepperdine hood along with his new Southwestern one.
Each year, the graduating class elects a grand marshal from the Southwestern faculty to lead the processional line and to announce the graduates' names during the commencement ceremony. For several years now, this selection has been too close to call, and so it is my pleasure this year to introduce 3 grand marshals. They were elected by the class of 2021, Professor Catherine Carpenter, Professor Anahid Garakanian, and Professor John Heilman. I don't need to tell the graduating class that they have chosen 3 exceptional teachers for this honor. I now give you Professor Carpenter, Professor Garakanian, and Professor Heilman.
Thank you, Chair. Dean Prager, Chair Fairchild, members of the Board of Trustees, and the faculty, we are honored to present to you the graduating class for the degree of Master of Laws. The students hereafter named, who have spent the requisite amount of time in the study of law as determined by the faculty and Board of Trustees of Southwestern Law School, qualify for the degree of Master of Laws. Will the candidates please approach the stage?
Julie Werner Simon.
Ertan Zazo Sharad.
Dean Prager, Chair Fairchild, members of the Board of Trustees and the faculty. I've been bestowed the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. The students hereafter named, who have spent the requisite amount of time in the study of law as determined by the faculty and Board of Trustees of Southwestern Law School, qualify for the degree of Juris Doctor. Will the candidates please approach the stage?
Kristen Abajian.
Jody Mars Hanlon. Eden Molem. Rebecca Afe Agege.
Astina Shakilian.
Ara Akhanyan. Eliana Amirian.
Nadine Alsadi.
Elijah Jacobian.
Cindy Alvarado.
Shaviante Bell.
Kristen Blanton.
Jared Ali.
Vahe Barikian.
Rapreet Singha.
Ariana Farhadi.
Tina Ansaripur.
Kayla Bergman.
Shane Emilio Bekian.
Janelle Ding.
Mark Capel.
Josephine Ishagian.
John Fry.
Kyle Moser.
Laith Philip Hilo. Ann Christie Arakilian. Alexandra Figueroa. Victoria Couch.
Jessica Ray Bulahone.
Blanca Chavez.
Hope Casella.
Michael Zaman.
Brenda Abulkad.
Shauna M. Nazarian.
Shelby Rothfair.
Abraham Brand.
Samantha Dennis.
Kelly Chacon.
Emily Rebecca Hart.
Gabriela Clemente.
Kaylin Davis.
Brittany Butler.
Samantha Shermer.
Ariel Wilbur.
Suna Elizabeth Kranzler Isgate.
Jacqueline Dean.
Esteban Espinoza Ulloa.
Dima Hannah.
Lily Gavorkian.
Louis Mobarke.
Vincent Choi.
Reagan Weber.
Ryan Waller.
Nicole Derment.
Talin Kojababayan.
Tamar Chabadian.
Nia Wall.
Max Goosen.
Mia An.
Christian Escobar.
Ernesto Rodriguez.
Nick Vitale.
Chad Graham.
Arturo Gomez.
Mariam Ghazarian.
Rosie Kanemian.
Eric Gonzalez.
Ivana Gutierrez.
James Glassman.
Gregory Wilner.
Ryan Farrell.
Melody Mulligan.
Mark Montana.
Marina Melikian.
Kayla Magana.
Karen Chrismar Gomez Mala.
Aye. Neve Moshe Levy.
Aria Afigom.
Aaron Cohenzade.
John Kang.
John McCorkle.
Enrique Martinez.
Jorge Lopez Herrera.
Matthew Kim.
Amrit Kang.
Dina Ani Isaguli.
Evelyn Marabian.
Christina Galajan.
Andre Khosrovian.
Tro Manuelin.
Sina Kurlalwala.
Jose Ricardo Juarez.
Byron Lansford.
Maria Clara Jaramillo.
Yeva Harchunian.
Kirsten Jaramillo.
Sione Sarkisian.
Mark Shahady.
Ramtin Arya Sarbaz.
Liliana Crystal Sanchez.
Boris Sargsyan.
Dustin Sharpie. Jasmine Sakui.
Alejandro Rosa.
Will Rios.
Milena Reyes.
Ana Marie Regoza.
Sasha Ramos.
Just fabulous. Oh, Haley.
Andy Hyman.
Haley Pollock.
Justin Pittman.
Aloysius Patchen.
Andre Domingo Pasqua.
Brendan Navarrete.
Diana Panish.
Myra Maturana.
Michelle Zuniga.
Vartan Zainalyan.
Mickey Yao.
Megan Willis.
Catherine Vasquez.
Robert Vanderveer.
Jose Valdez.
Lena Toe.
Rosemary Catalina Tamayo.
Carlos Eduardo Soriano.
Narek Sukazian. Karine Shatikian.
Announcing the candidates for the Juris Doctorate part-time evening program. Erica Lauren Jansen.
Amy Springer.
Jessica Hogue.
Joseph Huadron.
Leslie Devlin.
Ashlyn Dennison.
Amanda Combe.
Jasmine Chavez.
Nicole Bryant.
Michelle Barrington.
Vanessa Barnett.
Erica Arellano.
Joy Melanie Lakin.
Shiva Shinavai.
Julia Wood.
Monica Trungan.
Lindsay Tarasso.
Jasmine Core Penny.
William Rafael.
Vic Petrosian.
Mark Okamori.
Saeed Cosme.
Robin Lee.
Daisy Larita.
Maria Erlinda de la Paz Santiago.
Roy Anthony Len.
Vacha Maradian.
Announcing the candidates for the Juris Doctor Please and Part-Time Day program.
Alfonso Fonzi Aliba II.
Natalie Rondon.
Olga Kuzmina.
Sean Halloran.
Grace Hanlian.
Marianne Fatilchian.
Mariam Amani Rod.
Ronak Myers.
Lauren Landau.
Talia DeLulia.
Matthew Stein.
Announcing the candidates for the Juris Doctor Scale 2-year program.
Zachary Stoltz.
Savannah Song.
Erica Song.
Nicole Rossi Stanley.
Paulina Nunez. Jamie Newen.
Eric Joseph Nasik.
Antonia Irene McKee.
Maya Malazewski.
Megan Fernand Lewis.
Max Levy.
Melanie Kozravi.
Abba Isari.
Kaylin Casey Faye Colbert.
Avery Canty.
Thomas Coles.
Jesus Hinojosa.
Megan Dry.
Laura Ann Harper.
Jenny Baldasarian.
Matthew Kokanis.
Barry Blackledge.
Catherine Dermenjian.
Aram Ajemian.
Edward Gabork Avakian.
Ariel Yamin.
Jessica Ubreu.
Stephanie Zarulnikov.
Alexi Yegoyan.
Gonzalo Villanueva.
Marcus Whittemore.
April 2.
Elmira Tofanyan.
David Syed.
You should get combat pay for this. Thank you.
What an amazing celebration. On behalf of the faculty and staff, congratulations to each one of you. We apologize for rushing you through this line, but our commitments to the Rose Bowl must be met. You're now a part of Southwestern's past, but you are also on the verge of becoming an ongoing and important part of Southwestern's future. I look forward to working with many of you as a member of the faculty in the future, but we want to emphasize as a faculty that your faculty members will be continuing resources for you as your professional life develops and evolves. And the part that you can't appreciate now, you will be a resource for them as you build their skills. And I'm very serious about that. When you're stretched beyond the limit, I hope you'll be able to help remember that few careers present the breadth of the directions your professional career may take as the decades unfold, or the satisfactions you will find in helping your clients or in making a difference in the world in the way that you choose to do so. Now is the time in the great tradition of academia that signifies your graduation from law school. So I'm going to ask the graduates to stand, and you're now going to move your tassels to the left. Graduates and treasured family and friends, Southwestern's 106th graduating class has commenced, and this ceremony is at an end. Thank you all for being here.